very deeply now, very deeply now. Tell me more about what you see or experience.
The sun is very, very bright. It's really bright. I can feel like there's a lot of warmth on the skin. There's just like all of these big um red rock buildings. Like I kind of there's like the outback sort of area and then there's these red rock buildings. But the outback it is beautiful. It's very arid. The dirt's very red.
And as you look at this place and notice everything around you, if you become aware of your point of perception, the place where you are viewing this from, if you look down at your feet, tell me, what do your feet look like?
Hmm. Look like pointy shoes. Pointy type of shoes. I have like my hands look like charcoal black skin color, like not melanated. It's like really, 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 really dark gray, like but black.
Yeah,
Like I have like like in my palms are like this sort of like a lighter gray color. Like and it looks kind of like my fingernails look a little bit rough. I think I'm like a masculine being. Got like my skin is just like really, really like really charcoal black.
and does the body feel young or old?
Yeah, kind of young. Like I would say, like not like young, but like not old either.
And does the body feel healthy?
Yeah, I think I'm like missing a tooth up the back. Apart from that, it's good.
And as you integrate very fully now into that body and look out through the eye, tell me more about what is happening here.
Oh, I have lighter hair or something, and it looks like I have like yeah, I'm one of these like elf type of beings, but like charcoal black for some reason. The skin is like completely black.
Yeah,
My eyes are a light color, so it looks unusual. They look quite unusual because we're like, You're really, really, really dark skin. And like, yeah, I'm just trying to feel into the clothes. It just feels like some light clothing. Like I'm wearing some sort of like tunic. I don't like wearing pants. I thought I had pants before, but I don't have pants. It's too hot to wear pants. I'll just wear like a very light dress. You can have some jewelry on the hands as well.
Very good. As you integrate fully that body, look around that arid place, that bright sunny day. Do you notice any others around, or are you alone?
I think there was someone there before, but now I'm kind of like more alone.
And as you explore that scene, tell me more about what is happening.
I like being out here. It's very beautiful. It looks like past like these big rocks, you can kind of see like an ocean sort of a thing. But it's very, very choppy. We don't usually go in there. It's like, it's very pretty though. But there's like ginormous sharks. So we don't go in there. The sharks have like what it looks like, multiple fins on them, and they're huge. They're like the size of, they're enormous, so we don't really go in the water. But it's nice. We have ships though that take us over. We don't have like spaceship type of things. But like I like looking at the water sometimes. Come back. Sometimes there's like I do like beach combing. Like there's like these big sort of crystals that wash up.
Yeah.
Not shells or anything, but just big crystal things that wash up sometimes. So I like to collect crystals.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Yeah, I go to the beach, and there's lots of interesting sort of crystals that wash us up. Sometimes there's like spaceship parts that wash us up. I like to go beach combing, and then I go back to looks like a town or something, and I sell the crystals and stuff I found at the beach. People are too scared to go to the beach because of the big sharks and stuff in the water, but it's fine if you just you just grab what's there on the beach. It's very, very choppy. Like it's the waves are absolutely wild. But you there are special times when the tide goes out, and then you can collect all of the cool stuff that washes ashore. And it gets quite hot, and then we go inside these big sort of buildings made out of the red rock.
Tell me about these buildings.
Yeah, well, the red rock was always there, but we just carved the buildings out of it. Like these big pieces of red rock. Sometimes, like, I feel like some of our ancestors took the red rock there and then created buildings, but more like bigger, I guess, more like structures. It seems that we've forgotten how to use this technology to create, like, these big structures. So we just sort of we live in these areas, but like what we can create is just like quite more rudimentary with metal and whatnot. It's not like these big structures made out of stone and other things and import the stone, and or like very big buildings made out of metal, like what like our ancestors knew how to do. It's like it's like we've just been like, left here or something.
So your ancestors were more advanced.
Yeah.
Are you told stories?
Yeah, they were more advanced than what we are. We go into the buildings at certain times of the day because it gets really, really hot.
Yeah.
But they're telling me like there's like a elder sort of person that's speaking. I think I'm getting in trouble for like collecting too many things from the beach or whatever, or being told off for like yeah, taking too much stuff from the beach. Like, because I always bring a whole heap of stuff down from the beach. Like, I have like a little cart full of stuff that I take there. Like, when like my bags and become too full, I sort of like, made like a little wagon type of a thing, and like with wheels, and then I took it to the beach to bring my stuff back. And then there's just like, telling me that I bring too much stuff back. And that nobody knows how to pay me back for all of this stuff that I bring back. That, I'm probably not. It's dangerous to go to the beach anyway. I don't really care because I can make like a good profit from this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I get lots of like I have a nice room. I filled it with all of these sorts of crystals and things. Because everyone else is afraid of, and the stuff that I like to do. I like to explore and whatnot. Go and find cool stuff. Everyone's just kind of like scared and whatnot.
Why are they all so scared? Is it just the sharks? Or are they scared of other things as well?
I have a feeling that like this planet is like, they're somewhat hostile in a sense because there are like large sort of things that walk around sometimes. Like at night, like they look like big lizards, but they've just got giant feet.
Yeah.
Like lizard type of raptor things, but they have like these like big feet and then, little bodies. I've seen them, but it's like with the big feet that they have, like everyone thinks that they're a lot bigger and then they get scared. But they actually have like a tiny body on top of these big feet. I've beaten them before with a crystal. Like they attack you, but like, they're not like crazy dangerous. If you get what I mean, you can easily like beat them to death. They won't bother you anymore. No, I did it once with I had like a metal implement and then I whacked it and it died. Then I went and looks like I went and dragged it into the village to show everyone. And like, put that back, put that back. What, like they just got so scared. What the hell have you done? Like I've angered the gods or whatever. Because I smacked one of these lizards and killed it and then brought it in.
And what happened next?
No, I just had to bring it back out of the village. Like I just wanted to show them that like it's not so scary. That like, I easily like, you can easily kill these things. They're not that scary. You can explore if you want to. You can go out and explore. But they really like weren't interested. Like they're just so like dogmatic and whatnot. They just don't care about like I feel like the odd one out. I go and get crystals and I go to places where they don't like to go. They're scared of going. And it's just like I'm a bit like the black sheep. I feel really different. I'm not scared of all of the stuff that they're scared of. And they're just so fearful all the time, and I just really don't care. I don't understand why they're so scared of everything. Because there's nothing really to be scared of. Like, if I die, then I die. I don't care. Like, if it's your time to go, then it's your time to go.
Yeah.
I don't really understand. Yeah.
Yeah, you have this understanding, and the others are so fearful. So you like to spend your days out exploring,
Mm.
and gathering nice things from the beach. What do the others do? How do they spend their time?
A lot of them make fabrics and food and stuff like that. I guess that's why they sort of like they grow some food as well. I'm not good at any of that stuff. I'm not good at the usual stuff that other people are doing. I'm really good at beachcombing though, and finding cool stuff.
Yeah.
One time I tried to, it seemed like I tried to do that in the past to grow some food. We have this food on these little bushes, like little sort of potato type of things that grow as fruits, but they can be cooked. They're pretty tasteless, but you can salt them up. And yeah, like I collect the salts from the beach and whatnot to make them more tasty, but I want to make our lives better. But like I try and do the things that other people do, but it's not that good. Like I'm not as good at it. But and they kind of like look down on like the exploring stuff that I do. But I'm not good at what the others do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I have my own thing going on, but they don't. But because it's something that's not respected, they don't take me seriously. But they'll happily, you know, like trade a lot of stuff for the stuff that I find on the beach. So yeah, I don't know how that works.
So this stuff on the beach that you find, you said that you found spaceship parts and crystals and things like that.
Hmm.
What what do you use these things for, or what do they use these things for?
Hmm.
Do they help your society?
Yeah, I can communicate and use the crystals as like an antenna. But the spaceship parts, it's like there was, a spaceship that was being used, but like we've forgotten how to make them again. Don't know how to make them again. So there's like maybe just one, and it's not very good. We can fly over the water, but like yeah, there's only one that we can use. We can't go too far in it. I feel like there used to be other ones, but there was like parts of it that crashed into the ocean, and then it feel like I saw some parts that came ashore from that. And I tried to ask if we could put them together again, but nobody knows how. It's like, like you're talking about the gods that will come back.
Yeah.
That's what they talk about.
Tell me more
And
about it.
then it's like the gods and they come back, and then they're going to bring us back all of this stuff again because we've forgotten how to do all of this stuff. And when they come back, and we can learn how again. I feel like we've been here for a very long time, but they haven't come back. It's like I did talk to an elder about this, and he said that he was alive for, or his grandparents was alive for when that happened, but and his grandparents told him about it. But it was such a long time ago. And he said that he said to me, like a secret, like they're not really gods. But like, don't let the others know that. They're really silly. And they need to have something to hope for. He doesn't know whether they're coming back or not.
Oh.
Like his grandpa, witnessed that, but he doesn't know.
So what does he mean when he says they're not really gods? What were they?
Like the ancestors. Not gods, they're ancestors. Ancestors that left us here.
And these are the ones that built your structures.
Yeah. Yeah, there were structures that were built. Well, we don't know if there's anything else because people don't like to explore. The small group of us don't know if there's anything else beyond. I really want to see if there's anything else beyond that, but I don't think the spaceship works very well. So it's like, they used to be able to fly it even over the ocean, but I don't know if they can anymore.
So, because they're so scared, you don't know if there's other communities like yours.
No, I don't know. There's just like a few people in our community that they've got the idea of these gods into their heads, and then they've told the others and they've influenced the others. So it's like there's just this stupidity that's gone through the community through, somebody hearing that, ancestors were actually well, they, made a story about how they were gods and then told everyone, and then just like silly stuff started to take place and be told. This has happened over some time.
So after you've been told not to bring so much stuff back, what happens next? Do you continue to collect your things and explore? Or do you just continue life in your little community? What happens?
There is like a girl, and she goes with me to the beach once to see what it's like. I say that it's not too bad, that you can't really get eaten by sharks when you're standing on the land. And she realizes this and she's like, oh. They thought that the sharks could come onto the land, which is why they were so scared. And they told me not to go there because the sharks will come and follow me onto the land.
Yeah.
Everyone is really, really silly for some reason. And like, I feel like it's like all of this. There's this one dude in the community that's like an idiot, and he's got some darkness on him. And he's the one that just goes on about this story about the gods. But yeah. And then others followed him, and it just, yeah, it's really silly.
So what happens next?
Go to my room. I go to bed. Go into my little room. It's like I've got like a little rock bed with some fluff on it that I sleep on. Some like flax that's been pulled. I feel like I fall asleep, and when I wake up there's it's like something that happens in the night, and there's like a whole heap of people that come out, and there's the girl, and she's like shaking me awake. I come out, and I go to come out, and it's like all these lights in the sky. Ugh, now the idiots is out. He's come out, and he's just like, the gods have returned. This is why I wanted to stay in my bed. I knew he would have something to say about this. So I seem to that there's a commotion going on, and there's lots of these different sort of lights and triangular vessels in the sky. Because I can't stand this man yelling about how the gods are coming back, I go back to bed. And it's morning. And they've spent the night watching all of this. And then they shake me awake again. And they're like, come out. I'm like, you guys shook me awake at night, and then I didn't get enough sleep. I sort of sit there. And now they've all gone. Appear to have gone to the beach to get a closer look, which is unusual because they were scared of the beach before. So I think the girl must have told them that the beach is nothing to be afraid of. They just didn't listen to me.
Yeah.
So they're all standing around the beach and pointing. And then saying that I think it went over there. I think it went over there into the horizon. And we sit there. Well, it appears like a little bit in the morning, and then we walk back and have breakfast, which appears to be some kind of giant egg. There's like a giant flightless sort of bird birds that we keep in these pens. They have giant eggs. We eat our giant eggs. And I'm just like really groggy, and then there's like a huge ship that flies over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. And the others are like, it's the gods. And then they chase after it. It's the gods. I don't know what to think of all of this. Like they go off and chase it, and then I sit back down in the town and eat my egg.
Mm.
I'm really not interested in this God's business, because I can see how silly it's made all of them.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a part of that. They've just
Yeah.
gone, bonkers, running after these big ships.
They're very excited. You just carrying on with life as normal.
Yeah. I feel very different from everyone else.
So what happens next?
There are these beings that have appeared. They got these suits on them. Look very, very high tech. They're like us, except their skin isn't so dark. It's more of like a dark grey colour. It's a grey colour, not like a charcoal black grey colour like our skin. Appear to be talking through the mind, introducing themselves to us. Like we are from star system a long way away.
Yeah.
And we are your ancestors as well. That's what they're saying. That you got left here a long time ago as a result of an experiment. See how you would go in this sort of environment. It's basically saying that this is a science experiment. He's wearing, like, in his suit, he's wearing, like, a stuff over his face because he can't handle the climate or anything here. It's a very harsh planet. And he's explaining this to us, that, like, basically what they did was they manipulated their DNA to create, like, a different sort of species that would be able to withstand, like, all of these different climates, extremes in temperature, very, very harsh environments. Yeah, because now that I see him properly, he has like apparatus over his, like he's wearing a suit. We can see his face, but he has like an apparatus over it because he can't appear without like a helmet for very long because of how harsh it is here.
Yeah.
We can do that just fine. But he's put up like a big shield over his head to protect himself from the sun here.
So what else do they tell you? Do they tell you the purpose of them being there? Why have they returned?
There's others that are coming in. And it looks like, there's a big reptilian as well that's come. They appear to take blood and samples from us. They take scrapings from our skin. And then, like, they're telling us that, like, well done, you're the survivors. Your DNA, like our particular group, has survived this environment. Not many have survived. So they take scrapings off of us and what they need to do. The reptilian is very big. Everyone's scared. They hide. The other ones, though, the ones that look more like us, they like them, though. And we want to talk to them more. They don't seem so interested in talking, in chit-chat. They go back to... They seem to leave after that, after they take the scrapings off of us. And then there's a bunch of people that run after them. And then they just knock them down.
Oh.
They run after them and be like, the gods are leaving. And they use some sort of, shockwave that just knocks them down because, they don't want them following them back into their ship. They're taking the scrapings off of us. And then they've just gone back. Everyone's disappointed.
Did they tell you why they was taking these samples?
Got no clue. Think it's for their science experiment. I never thought the gods were much chop. Everyone's disappointed. Everyone's sitting around in a circle in these stone buildings. I don't think the gods were what they thought they would be. Everyone's very disappointed about that. I pipe up and say, well, I told you so. I told you that, they're... Because I have mentioned before that they're probably not, as great as what people have said that they are, because I was like saying, well, if they're that great as what you're saying, then why have they abandoned us? I feel like I'm the only one with common sense. No one would accept that, but I suppose maybe I was right. Don't know.
What happens next?
I'm in my bed. And then I see one of the gods in my room. Grey skin beings. The male one. He's just... I don't know how he got here. He's telling me something that, like, I've passed some kind of a test. What does he mean by that? I've passed, like, a intelligence thing. They get me, they pull me out. Nobody else can see because I don't know what they've done to them. I asked what have you done to the others? It's just like they've been put into a sleep. We're going to take you with us. We've got samples from all of the others, but we're taking you with us. You're more intelligent than the others. You're coming with us. Oh, okay. Well, I was starting to like that one girl, but I was just like, you know, like I said, don't I get to say goodbye? He's just like, well, we've been watching you. You didn't like the others anyway. That just makes me feel bad now. Because I didn't like the others very much, but like, I still had feelings for them. Even though they were silly. I get taken into this ship. Appears to be more of those reptilian things. They don't have any masks on in this ship. It's only when they're on our planet. They have apparatus around their bodies. Just like they're just going to subject me to some tests now. It's like they drug me as they do this to me. So I don't really remember much of what goes on.
So after they've done these tests, what happens next?
I wake up and like I say, well, I start wandering around and I'm like, well, you've done all of these tests, you can put me back now, can't you? And they're like, oh no. No. We're not gonna put you back there. No. Not gonna do that. I'm like, well, why not? That's, you know, where I grew up. That's my home. They're like, no. You're the result of a lot of hard work. The others didn't survive. The other colonies did not survive. But you did, and now they're going to use your DNA, various things, and you're the smartest one amongst them, so you are going to be... Your genetics are superior to the others. This is really confusing for me, so I just go back into my living quarter areas. I don't really know what to do.
So let's move forward in time a little bit further to when something important is happening. Be there now. Tell me, where are you and what is happening?
Mm. I'm in some sort of a laboratory. I walk through it. These grayskin beings show me. I've got several of my clones in a tank. And then we scraped this material off of you. And these ones will be used in new colonies, new expansions. And as I look at them, it's I'm looking at myself. Then it's just there's other parts that will be involved in breeding programs as well. And saying that I'll be expected to do that as well. Because my DNA is very valuable. This is so new to me that I feel like I throw up.
Yeah.
I vomit because everything is so different. I'm not quite I've just seen myself in these tubes, but it's not me. It's clones. So they put me back into some sort of a healing chamber thing. They've realized that they haven't really reintegrated me very well. I don't think that they realize what they've psychologically done to me and to my people. It's they just don't even... There wasn't much care put into any of this. The whole gods thing, and then they come back and then they just scrape stuff off of people and then just left they didn't care. And the whole time of my life, between the silly guy and the guys before him, all I heard was, this talk about how the gods were so great and the gods were this and they were that and blah, blah, blah. And now that I've met them, I think that they're jerks.
Yeah.
They really do not have any emotional intelligence. And it's I feel bad yet again because I feel different even amongst these so-called gods. I feel well, they're no good either. Is there anyone who's actually good? Is there anyone who's actually sensible? I feel so out of place.
So these grey beings have no compassion for what they're doing?
No, they just don't care. They set up a science experiment and then just all of these colonies to breed this perfect being. and then they just like left, and whoever was the survivor colony like got picked. Their DNA got picked.
Yeah.
It's just like so. I don't know what they're thinking. Like they're just playing some kind of a game with us. They have no idea what was going on. Well, they do have an idea, but they just don't care. They don't know how it felt in that position to be left in this place like this. To be just dropped off there.
So after you've spent some time in the healing chamber, what happens next?
I just feel like I'm their toy, or like I'm going to be used by them or whatever. Because they've just like brought in this other sort of female that looks like me. And then they're like, you know, like you need to acquaint yourselves with each other. Because like you're going to like not only we're going to use the clones, but we're going to use you in like a program to like breed offspring as well. Or I don't know, for whatever purpose that they have. But I don't want to do this. Like I don't want to like subject like potentially like a child to whatever the hell that they want to do.
Okay.
Well, they get this woman that looks very much like me. She's one of my kind as well, but I think she's had the same situation with her. She was the most intelligent one that was born out of these colonies
Yeah.
as well, so they've also taken her to be used. Like I'm talking to her and she doesn't seem to have much ability to communicate very much. The grey skinned beings have taught me how to use telepathy. We were using a combination of this before, but mainly like communicating through a speech that we'd made up and just small sort of feelings, sharing feelings, but like it's like a whole different way of communicating that they've shown to me, but I picked it up pretty quickly. But this other one that's been sent into my room, she hasn't really got it. She hasn't really understood how to communicate. And she doesn't, like, I try and speak like my language to her, and it's like she's from a complete other place because she doesn't understand. And I don't think she knows what to do either. She's been sent into my room, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. She doesn't know what to do. So they see that nothing has happened, so they take her back out again. Which is good because, like, honestly, it was really confusing for the both of us.
Yeah. Does anyone explain to you what is happening?
need to like be with this woman and like produce like a child out of that encounter. But like, so they explained this much to me, but I kind of don't want to do it. And they keep coming around to my room and then they're like, oh, you have to do it. Like we have your clones, so if you don't want to do this, then we're just going to kill you, actually. I'm like, oh, lovely. So they just give it to me straight one day.
So what do you decide to do?
Well, I'll give them what they want, but only because I've been forced to, basically. So they send that woman in again, and she has a bit more ability to be able to communicate now. They've figured out what the problem is, that she couldn't communicate properly with me. I've figured out the telepathy, but she hasn't got as big as a grasp of it. So they kind of, lock us in a room together until that happens. And then the room is very basic and very Spartan. Like, it feels like they haven't given me any other stimuli in this room so that I won't be like distracted.
Yeah.
And so they're like, they watch me in the room as well to make sure that I'm, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And then I do that deed, and then they take her back out again. I don't know what will happen.
So let's move forward in time a little bit and find out, was there a baby conceived?
It's like the first time it didn't really work, but then they sent her in a couple more times, and then it eventually did work. But there is like a child, but they take it off her pretty quickly and subject it to more tests. Like, I just feel so out of control. Everything is out of my control.
And how does it make you feel that you had a child and they just took it away?
I don't much feel anything. I'm part of a scientific experiment at this point. What I have to say or do isn't of any importance to them. It's only my genetic material that is of importance to them, apparently.
And what happens next?
They've created like a small community of other beings that look like me and beings that are mixed. Oh. It's weird. The scrapings that they've taken off of the people in my town, they've mixed it with the DNA of the baby, they've mixed it with my DNA, and they've created like this group of beings. Those group of beings, like there's like a small community of them in the ship now. So I suppose this is what they wanted.
Do you find out why they wanted this?
Why they want to do this at all? I don't have any idea. It's something to do with adaptation. ASAP. Their species on other places, on other planets.
Let's close that scene and move forward in time once again to when something important is happening. Be there now. Where are you and what is happening around you?
It's like some time has passed and I'm being used as like to breed with all of these other sort of like what appears to be like clones that are mixed with other DNA. It's just really screwed up. So that not only have they put the other woman, like they've taken the other woman away now. I don't know where she's gone, but they have these other sort of beings that look very much like me, and then they keep there's some that they bring in and then ask me to do the same thing, to breed with them, and I feel like I have told them before, I've told the gods before that like I don't want to do this very much. I feel it's like I threatened like to hurt myself, to unalive myself.
Yeah.
Because this is so confusing to me and I don't want to be here anymore. Just using me for like a purpose, and I miss going to the beach and collecting crystals. I don't know what there is to life. Basically using me and using the others to just like breed like a new colony of beings for them.
Yeah.
And so they understand that I feel very purposeless. So they take me with this reptilian comes out and then takes me to this like a weapons pod thing, and then they're like, look at how cool this is. This big reptilian showing me this weapons pod. They think that like if I am interested in this, I won't want to unalive myself. Like you can press buttons. It fires off lasers. It's really cool. And so like, yeah, I'm quite interested in this. And they're like, if you do the right thing, if you breed once a day, then you get to have special privileges. Like, you get to try out this machine, you get to look around the ship, because I've been confined only to a very small space in this science lab with a very, very plain room. It's basically like a jail cell.
Yeah.
But they're saying that, if I continue on and do what I'm supposed to do, then I can get special privileges. So I kind of agree to this because it's really difficult. I still think about unaliving myself, but I get privileges now. I get to walk around. Get to walk around the ship. It's actually really, really big. It's bigger than I thought. I look out the windows. It's like a lot of space. There's problems though when they go and take me back to my room, because I get really anxious. Like I almost try and fight them a few times.
Yeah.
That isn't good. That is not good at all. They don't really want to hurt me though, because I'm like important genetic material. I want to learn more. I asked them, I want to learn more about what's out there in space. I want to learn more about everything because I don't know. They haven't told me very much. And I want to learn.
What do they say?
Well, the Reptilian comes in and he's very big, and he teaches me some things about the galaxy and the universe, and shows me some projections. And this is quite exciting. This is bigger than I thought it would be. Like, compared to how we viewed the world before, it was so little, and we were too scared to go out. So this is very, very different from what I've ever known.
So what does he show you?
Yeah, he has this like little sort of a device, and the device shows you like sort of maps and whatnot, and you can scroll around and then look at various star systems and places, and he just educates me about these things. And if I'm good, and if I do the breeding and with program, then I'm allowed to have education. So I continue on with this so I can be educated.
Very good. Now I'm going to ask you to just close this scene. Close this scene. And in a moment, we're going to move to the last day in the lifetime that we are viewing. You will not feel any physical sensations at all. That is very important. You will not feel any physical sensations at all. You can move out of the body and watch the rest of the lifetime as if it were happening to someone else. As I count backwards from 3 to 1, you will be there. 3, traveling there now. 2, almost there. And 1, be there now. You will feel no physical sensations, and you can view it as if it is happening to someone else. Tell me, what do you see?
I feel like I have threatened to unalive myself again. And then they're like, well, they come in with like a needle and they say, well, you really want this so badly, and we're going to stop you from being so much of a problem anymore. We've collected. They basically tell me that they've collected all that they need to collect, and if you want to unalive yourself, you can do so now. And we're going to do that. Because, they've basically used me all that they need to use. And so I'm not given much of a choice about it either. They're just tired of me threatening to do it.
Yeah.
And so, it's like I'm there's like a grey skin being that's come in with a needle. And it's just like, well, you want this so badly? And I'm like, well, because I was threatening to unalive myself again after I wanted to explore. Like, I wanted to learn more about the universe by exploring. Like, I hadn't seen and felt a tree in ages. I wanted to go back to nature. They were like, well, you can't do that. And I wonder why not. Like, well, we're in control of you. And I threatened again that, well, I'm in control of myself, and I'm going to end my own life. And that's how much, I have control over myself. That's the only sort of control I have over myself in this situation. And they're just, taking that control out of my hands now. And they just put the needle into me. And then I start to drift away and fall asleep.
As you move to the point in time where you take your last breath and move out of the body, as you look back down at your body, I want you to tell me what you see. Feel yourself moving up and out of the body, and look back down at yourself and tell me what you see.
I look quite peaceful. I'm kind of like a big man with very dark black skin. and long white hair. And, I've just sort of died in this, the being that was giving the injection, died in his lap. He doesn't know quite what to do. It's like he feels something for the first time, actually.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting from this perspective. It's like he does actually, it's like he is starting to feel empathy. I can see that he's starting to feel empathy. I wanted to see the trees. I wanted to see the beauty of the universe. And he took that. And I was willing to die to do it, and he took that decision away from me that I would die myself. Don't know if he knows that there can be another way. It's like there is a spark within him that maybe he sees another way.
Yeah. Now I want you to look around you for that huge white light, the white light of source that pours you towards it as if you are a magnet. This white light is the white light of source, God, the light of home. It is where you are from, and it draws you towards it. I want you to head towards that white light of home, and I want you to tell me what you see as you make your way there.
It's like I stick around for a while to see what my descendants do, how they treat all of the children and clones that come off of my DNA. It's like they've relocated them. I've given them all this training and relocated them to a different planet. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like military training. These ones will go to areas that I've never seen before, to fight in wars. Their genetic capabilities can handle it. I go back to see my town on that planet that's really hot. They've noticed that I have been taken. They got scared and they didn't look for me. They went back to worshipping the gods. I'm a little bit disappointed in them. I look back and see how disappointing it has turned out. And then I decide to go back to the light. after this because I have seen enough.
And as you integrate back into the white light, the light of home, of source, and allow yourself to integrate. Tell me more about what you feel the lesson was in that lifetime that we have just viewed.
It was like a challenge to be authentically myself, even amongst all that is happening. I was supposed to bring light here, and I felt like I did. It was a very precarious situation, and nobody wanted to listen to me. I just had control over myself in the end. And the spiritual decisions that I had. It's a while before I heal from this one because I feel like it was very pointless. After I saw what I saw, wasn't sure whether I had succeeded in bringing the light when everyone was so stupid all around me. Did not have empathy.
Yeah.
At the end of that life, I thought that I was maybe even a failure at what I did as my mission. But there's angelic beings that are telling me, no, you did not fail at your mission. You still affected a change, however small it was. Tiny seeds that you planted. It was all about that, was it? Stuff that I didn't even, that I overlooked. The tiny, tiny seeds that I planted in others, even if they were very ignorant and did not have any empathy at all, was tiny, but it was still something. Sometimes that's all that you can do. It's what the angels are saying. Sometimes people aren't ready. So you need to know when to plant seeds and when to walk away. Not everyone is at your level.
Very important. Thank you. We're going to leave that part of ourselves in the white light to continue on with their journey. Now we are going to leave them there. They will continue with their journey. They will find what they need to find, I'd like to ask for all of the consciousness of this one on the bed to reintegrate back into the body. And now I would like to ask to speak with this one's higher self, please. May I speak with this one's higher self? We have been in a very high frequency during this session, and it will be easy for the higher self to make the necessary connection, and for this one to know that the higher self is always there and waiting to assist.
Yes.
You could have shown this one many lifetimes today. Why did you show them the lifetime that she was shown?
She gets frustrated with her current situation about being the odd one out. She feels sometimes that it is hard to reach others. It's very difficult to get them to understand what she understands. That they are very far behind sometimes. Even in this lifetime when she met the gods, she knew and felt that they were very far behind in terms of their frequency and their connection to source. She also knew that the town that she left, that their connection with source was not very good either. And this pained her greatly. She faces similar challenges in this life, looking around and realizing that there is so much ignorance everywhere she looks. And she has to take the task of helping to unravel it by planting seeds. She wishes that they would be at the same level as her. But not everyone is at the same level as you. It is very important to understand. You are here for a reason. And sometimes that reason is because you are not necessarily at the same level as everyone else. And you can pull them up with your higher vibration. It's just difficult to do this when in a physical body, because you feel very much like the black sheep.
Is there anyone in those lifetimes that we saw today that she is incarnated with in this present lifetime? And is there any karma still playing out?
Her entire siblings were the ones that were dumped there as well. The part of the beings that were dumped in the colony and just had to survive there. And yes, the one that she was really irritated with, the one that kept talking about the gods. This was a friend that she had at university. She was really irritated by this person. So yes, many were there, and they are quite unable to transmute or comprehend this experience because it was so unusual and so different. So she has seen this experience so that this can be transmuted for the collective of those beings that underwent what happened to them, being dropped off in colonies on an unfamiliar world.
Thank you. Could I ask you to do a scan of this one's physical and energetic body, and to tell me if there are any entities or energies attached to them that should not be there?
There was an attempted infiltration before, but I have removed this now.
Thank you.
They are getting very angry at what she is doing as she brings in more and more light. But this will continue. They cannot control it.
Is there anything more that she needs to know about this?
To stay authentic and true within her power. Do not be afraid to be the black sheep. Do not be afraid to be the odd one out. Victimhood doesn't serve anyone. So embrace being different. Embrace being very, very different. Embrace being at a different level to others at this time. Victimhood does not serve anyone.
Yeah. And is there any healing or help required by the physical body?
No, it is all good for this time.
Thank you. And are all of the chakras spinning and as open as they should be? And is her aura all intact?
I'm just going through again. And then doing it all again. After the infiltration, there was just a little bit of discordant energy within her fields. This infiltration came in through the laptop even after it was cleared. But it's all good now.
Thank you. Are there any upgrades that this one can benefit from?
At this time, the best upgrade would be to get plenty of sleep, because there is so much energies coming through that it's important to get plenty of sleep in order to sufficiently receive these, and drink plenty of water so that energy is flowing through. The energy is becoming stagnant, so we cannot have any other upgrades at the moment until it is flowing effectively. I'm just flushing out these channels.
And is there any AI or implants or any negative energy cords that need to be cut today?
No.
Good.
No, that's all good.
And is there any black magic on the fields of this one that needs to be removed?
It was just removed then. This is not to be allowed.
Now I would like to just check in with this one before we continue on with the questions and check that she is okay to continue given the time that we have been doing the session.
Yes, she is okay to continue with the first few questions. The others will have to be answered in another.
Okay. She is finding herself becoming frustrated with the lack of backbone from the people in her life and how they are not willing to do what is needed to be done, and that the rest of the people have to suffer for it. How can she stop this situation?
Well, once the others have used their free will, there is not much one can do about this in particular. This is why I showed her this particular life. She will just need to become more independent, let's just say, and then to gravitate towards people who are more willing. She can only send healing and send love and send small seeds to help them awaken at this time into their true inner power, and to just keep talking about it. Talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. But as for the people that this is about, they will have to come into this on their own accord. You cannot force another person to do anything in particular. You cannot force a horse to drink water. You can only lead it to the water, and then it will decide whether to drink or not.
Yes, it's important to remember. Thank you. How can she stop narcissists and shills from trying to get to her and stop their negative entities from interrupting her mission?
Just simply block them when you see them. Do not even allow them into your energy field for 1 second. This is a very, very simple way to do it. You just put a block up, put a wall up, and do not allow them in, because you will become more and more sensitive as you go on, and you will know what to do. You will know which ones are infiltrated and which ones are shields, and then at that point in time, do not even attempt to argue with them. Do not do anything. Just block them. That is the best thing that you can do at this time. Do not engage with these beings, because these are ones that have entities on them, and those entities are trying to make you angry, trying to infiltrate into your field. So do not give them any reaction whatsoever. Do not react to these beings.
And are there appropriate times when we can do a remote or quick entity removal, or a method that one can use to do so safely when we have an emergency entity targeting problem?
There are many ways that one can do this. It is important for people to know that those entities have been released, but if there are emergency problems, which is what she has experienced today with her sister, it is perfectly okay in that instance, because these are becoming very extreme cases, that this will actually have to occur, that an intervention will need to be made on another person that is bringing in a very, very, very dark entity into the house. So in this case, we can intervene if asked to do so and remove the influence of that entity from the earth plane, from all of the places where it was affecting the earth and the humans of the earth. So not only her, but many other beings that were affected by this one. Their attachment to this one, let's just say, was removed when that giant one was removed from the earth completely. It was pulled up and into a portal, and then we are taking care of it. So there are cases in which you can do this, and this was experienced today.
She would like some information about Orion for the readings she does and the materials she puts out. She would like a summary of what sort of beings live in those areas and a little bit of information about each one. She has listed a few different ones. Are we able to speak a little on this today, or should I leave this one and move on to the final question?
You can move on to the final question because the vehicle is getting very dry.
Okay, thank you. She would like to know if you are able to psychically prevent yourself from having a pregnancy.
Yes, you are able to do this. However, in that particular case that she was dealing with, this was not a child. This was a demonic attachment that was making a connection, trying to infiltrate and make a connection, presenting itself as a child. She blocked it regardless, but it's still attached on to her through the belly. She tried to block it, but then she was thinking about it again and made a connection to it because it was appearing very benevolent. So when she was thinking about it, then this being made the connection to her again when she had it in her mind, was thinking about this being.
And is there anything she can do in the future to avoid this from happening again?
This one was very, very tricky because it was, let's just say, very skilled at pretending more than usual. The most important thing would be to use the violet flame to use the light on these beings, use the rays of light. If any being presents itself to you all of a sudden, out of the blue, just use light on that being and then just observe what occurs. Also, this is also a learning experience. All that has gone on, all that has been cleared. There were connections with those beings that were removed today. Ancient connections with those beings that were removed today. They used to be angelic beings and very much connected to me. I was very glad to be able to ferry them back into the light so that they do not affect the earth plane anymore. I am cleaning up this level of existence. I'm cleaning it from top to bottom. So if I have to, let's just say, open myself up in order for this to occur, for the earth plane to be cleaned, then I will do so in order to complete my task.
Thank you. And is there any final message for this one?
Things will get so much easier in the future. Things are already getting easier. You just need to look for where the light is. And that's where the heart is. You have the ability to look into any information that you wish. You do not necessarily need to ask all of these questions in these sessions. You can look for this information at any time in which you like. You are coming into the age of information, to be able to access any information that you please at any time. Your abilities are coming more and more online. There will no longer be this barrier or this lagging point in which you previously had. You can access much more easily now. They can try and put roadblocks in the way and interfere with this, but it will not occur, this interference, forever, because the strength within is growing, so much so every single day, in order to connect in and bring in all of the information that is needed at this time, while still I do what I need to do in order to clean up the earth. There are many, many things that I am doing. My task is being completed, and I am very, very happy with how everything is going. I am so glad with how everything is turning out. All of my plans for this place are working out.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. And can I ask you to keep upgrading the body and continuing with any healing that may be needed by this one over the next 3 nights in her sleep states?
Yes, of course.
And is there anything else? Any more messages? Or are we complete?
We are complete for this time.
Thank you very much. And thank you so much for coming through today and conversing with me. Thank you for all of the help, healing, and wisdom that you have provided today. I am now asking